Elon Musk has officially bought Twitter for over $44 billion. So it's been rumored for a while that Elon Musk was going to take over 100% of Twitter's ownership, and now it's finally come to pass. So if we take a bit of a step back, it just came out that he bought Twitter and he plans to take the company private. And so over the last month or so, Elon Musk has tried to acquire Twitter when he first bought 9% of the company for $3 billion, which was crazy. And if you're a couple of videos ago, I talked about this and I mentioned that, yeah, he's just testing the waters to see how people would react and if it would be a good game decision. And now after he finally secured the funding for over $40 billion to Twitter, has finally accepted his offer, buying every single Twitter share for $54, which is pretty good. I'm taking a look at my analytics, and only like 2% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. People are very opinionated about this topic, even though I really don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as a lot of people are making it out to seem. Of course, a bunch of people are complaining on Twitter that Elon Musk is going to, mess with their app or allow hateful content, which I don't believe it. I mean, even yesterday, the trend, the hashtag delete Twitter was trending, and of course, honestly, I think the only reason it was trending was because everyone, mindless. They're doing whatever, they're saying what everyone else is thinking. None of these people that are deleting Twitter were actually deleting Twitter. It's just, I don't know, publicity. I mean, one of the biggest Twitter accounts, Sean King, deleted his Twitter page after he was upset about Elon Musk taking over, and he kept it deleted for literally not even 24 hours, and he's already back. I mean, I don't think any of these people are serious. They love Twitter too much. Twitter is, and then on the other hand, people think that Elon Musk taking over Twitter is one of the best things, ever. It's gonna make Twitter completely different. A lot of things are going to change. The content isn't going to be censored, and it's like a utopia, social media. But honestly, I think all Elon is really going to do is, he's going to set up a new board for new changes. I know he mentioned that he wanted to bring in an edit button, which, I think could change Twitter a lot drastically, actually, because Twitter was already considering adding an edit button, but you'd have to pay for it. It's like $3 a month or something silly. But I mean, that's been a long-standing feature. A lot of people have wanted the edit button, so it looks like Elon might add that. And he's looking into a verification process for all Twitter's users, because bots are a huge problem against all social media. I can't go anywhere without seeing bots. They're on my TikTok, they're on my Instagram, they're on my Twitter, but it's really bad on Twitter because their Explore and Trending page is one of their biggest. A lot of people go to Twitter for the trending feed to see what news is happening, what people are interested in. If there's social problems happening, you go to Twitter and you see if it's trending. And now there are big concerns over this, because a lot of political trends, unfortunately, 100% they adjust how people are thinking. If something positive is trending about a topic, people are more likely to feel positive about it. And so when you get into these bots that are making these Twitter trends negative or positive, it can really influence how people are thinking. And I remember, I think it's a big thing in the States. I remember a few years back, people were really worried that Russia was influencing American elections because their bots were making things trends. And even in Canada, I mean, there's a lot of positive or negative political things that are trending on Twitter, and you'll go through the tweets, and it's like accounts that have, 2 tweets and 0 followers, and they are made this year. So it's obviously bot activity. So I'm really interested to see how Elon Musk will tackle the bot problem on Twitter, if he can actually get a verification process so only real people can use Twitter, and it'll stop bots for at least a while, until these people that make the bots find a workaround. But if he finds something, I think that might be the biggest thing for social media. I think if he could find a way to stop bots being on mass bots on social media, I think other social media platforms would follow suit. And I really hope they do something, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of, the PORN bots on like my Instagram account saying crazy crap. You know what I'm talking about. And this all started back when Elon Musk was taking to his Twitter and doing polls to see if Twitter was a real social media or was a free speech social platform. And of course, a lot of people seem to think that Twitter isn't a free speech haven. And I understand their worries. I mean, I'm definitely on the side where I believe, places like Twitter are the new public square. Now, obviously, I think a lot of people take Twitter way too seriously. I don't think a lot of people are coming on there to have good faith, political and philosophical discussions, but I do believe it heavily influences how people think. And so if Twitter is censoring, a certain side of the political spectrum, then it could definitely have a major influence on how our society is played out. And so people were worried about that. A lot of people answered Elon by saying they didn't think it was a free speech thing, and that is quote unquote his reason for buying Twitter, to enforce a free speech policy on their platform, less censorship. And you know what? That sounds all good and dandy, but I think that there's definitely more than just that reason. Obviously, that's the noble reason. That's a lot of reason people agree with him and people are happy that he's taking over. But there's a bigger reason that Elon Musk, sure, he's the richest person ever, in the world. And he has like I think it's over $200 billion in assets. So $40 billion for him isn't too much. But for him to spend like 25% of his, all of his wealth, I definitely think there's more of a reason. And now this could be another approach. Like if you didn't know, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, one of the biggest companies of all time, just bought Washington Post. And, ever since he's owned Washington Post, there's been a lot of positive articles being written about, Amazon and Jeff Bezos. So I wonder if that's what Elon Musk will do with Twitter, if he'll let negative press around his companies trend less often, or we'll see how that works out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you think it's a good thing that Elon Musk is taking over, or do you think it's a bad thing? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.